Basically, in the SQL Server, whatever we are supporting on the on-premises environment, all things we can do in the cloud, except few things such as the log shipping and then some other parameters. But cloud supports some new features from the SQL point of view that we can't use in the on-premises environment.
Okay.
So our main criteria from the SQL standpoint of view, we will cover the migration stuff. However, if someone want to ask any question about the any stuff, I would be happy to answer the question.
Okay.
Such as what is the database? How can we create it? What is the benefit? How billing generate? How can we migrate the database from the on-premises to cloud? Or sometime if the client is not capable to pay the bill of the cloud company, in that case, how can we revert back the changes from the cloud to on-premises? Because it's a very, very tedious task. Once the database has been moved to cloud, so how can revert back to the on-premises environment?
Okay.
The other thing, the other thing, what are the challenges? The challenge means prior to migrate the database from the on-premises to cloud, what are the challenges application face, or what are the prerequisites required? Because I am facing these things on the daily basis in the live environment.
Okay.
Okay. Back to back, I am doing the task. So such type of the thing. Now, so let me start the things. Basically, in the platform as a service, from the SQL standpoint of view, SQL divides the database in two flavors. One is Azure Logical Server, that can you say the Azure SQL DB. The another one is the Azure MI, Azure Managed Instance, or you can say the SQL MI, SQL Managed Instance. What is the difference between them? That is totally different factor. But on a high level, I can see you, I can tell you that the major difference between the Azure SQL DB support only database only 4 TB. Okay. In case if your application's database size is growing or will grow more than 4 TB, that you will never go with the Azure SQL DB as a SQL DB. Always you will go with the Azure MI. This is the one difference. Suppose that, okay, we know the Microsoft charge on hourly basis. So if someone can say you, okay, my database size will grow after 1 year more than 4 TB. So why should I pay? Why should I use the Azure MI from the day one? Yes, Applic app is 100% right. For the time being, we can use the Azure SQL DB. After that, we can migrate the database from the Azure SQL DB to Azure MI. I hope makes sense. You got the point, right? About the billing standpoint of view.
Yeah.
Sometime, sometime applications support different type of the collation level. What is the collation level? Collation level means your character is case sensitive or something like that, accent sensitive, or what type of the searching your app is doing on the database level. Such type of the things depends upon the collation level. So it is also a very, very important factor on the DB perspective, DB or from the DB perspective. So Azure SQL DB support only and only default collation level. But sometimes application required different type of the collation level that cannot be done to the Azure SQL DB. In that case, we will go for the MI. Lots of other factors. So I'm telling here on the basic difference between the Azure SQL DB and Azure MI. Now, on the portal, how we will create the Azure SQL DB? Because Azure MI will take 3 to 4 hours to build the Azure Managed Instance. I hope recently all of you whosoever is involved on the Microsoft latest updates. So last month, Microsoft released one new article in the somewhere in the Canada or Switzerland. They were running some meeting regarding the cloud, and then they released some updates. Yeah, we have done some new things into the cloud from the DB perspective. What are the two updates? Earlier, the SQL managed instance were taking 3 to 4 hours to build it. But recently, they have modified some changes in it, and then now we can build between 2 to 3 hours. I mean, major changes. The other things, the other things they have updated something like that. As of now, the recently we are using the latest version of the SQL Server is SQL 2019. So they have launched the SQL 22, something like that. So these are on the monthly basis. I got an update letter from the Microsoft regarding the Azure. So whatever the changes they have done, what are their plannings, and then these type of the things. Okay, so share your screen. Let's start from the Azure SQL DB. How can create the database? After that, we'll create a infrastructure regarding the migration, and then once if we have a time, then we can start the one utility about the migration.
Sure. I am going to the Azure portal. This is the
Yes.
portal
Yes.
I hope everyone can see. So how do I navigate?
Yeah. Okay. Click search SQL database.
Okay, databases. I could see this. Yeah, this is the one, right?
Okay. Yeah. Create
Okay,
database.
okay,
Okay. Select the resource group.
okay, okay,
Yeah, you can create on the fly as well also. You can give the database name anyone DB01.
okay, DB01. And I need to create a server.
Server. Okay. Here the one interesting thing I'm telling you. Here server name does not exist. Okay, because we have not created. So Azure SQL DB suggests us we can create the server on the fly. Okay, here whenever here whatever name we will give, it will create a new SQL server. So, but in a real scenario, in a live scenario, such type of the things does not happen. Why such type of the things does not happen? Because here we are using the portal. We can create the database. We are creating the database, and on the fly we can creating the server. So let's make it more simple. We can create the server first, then we can create the database, or we can create the server on the fly with the database. Both are the same thing. But what I'm saying, in the live or real environment, you will get the server, and that were built by someone, or we can build at our end. So what is the difference between the real environment and the testing environment? In the real environment, you need to mention the lots of port detail, lots of restrictions, whosoever can access it, whosoever cannot access it, the onshore environment can access this server or not, the offshore environment will access this server or not, such type of the thing. That those type of the things need to be mentioned in the JSON file, and the JSON file we will we run from the another server, something like the DevOps, some things which you were telling in the previous classes, like Kamal.
Mhm.
Okay, we will build the JSON file, and JSON file we will run from the different server. That server has port of that server. All port must be open from that server to the portal, because that server JSON file will hit to the portal to build the servers. Okay, in the real scenario such type of the things happen, but here ultimately what will happen, it will create the server. So here we are going to create the server. These are the authentication. Okay, first give the server name, any server name, Kamal 1001, any server. Yeah. So once you build the Azure SQL DB, your naming convention would be Kamal001 database.windows.net. If any server has naming convention .database.windows.net, that means it is the Azure logical server. Okay, so we are using the authentication mode. However, already you have suggested in initial first 6 classes about the Azure Active Directory authentication. If our existing ADs users have been migrated on the Azure AD, then we can use the Azure Active Directory authentication. Or, but here we are using the SQL authentication. In the live environment, first option works.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
click on OK. Review and create. Okay, no, yeah, here. Click on development environment. Okay, general, click on the configure database. Already you have covered the provision and serverless part. Okay, so okay, we will use the DTU vCore concepts. So vCore concepts or DTU concepts, anyone we can use it. vCore you have covered in our sessions, but I am telling you about the DTU. DTU stands for the data transaction unit. That means one DTU stands for the one transaction. If we will use the 10 DTU or 50 DTU, that means the 50 DTU, 50 transactions we can run parallelly. So you can use here for the 20 DTU. Okay, the size you can mention 10 GB or 5 GB, because according to DTU the rates will vary. Okay, so the thing is, I'm telling you one thing. In case if your database is running slow or facing any issue, then in case if you will uh, enhance the DTU later on, then you will require the downtime. Okay, but in real environment, we use the vCore concept. Why we use the vCore concept? Because DTU stand for the data transaction unit. It requires the per DTU per transaction. vCore behave as like the on-premises CPU memory configurations concepts. Okay, so this is the vCore concept. Anyone you can use it. So these are the things you have covered, these things, right?
Yeah.
The serverless and provision part. So that's why I'm not going on that part. I'm using the DTU part. So or you can go for the week or no issue, 2 3 week or, and then the database size.
Yeah. 10 GB is fine, right? The maximum database size.
Put here 50 GB.
Okay. So is this a data storage size?
Yes, I'm telling you these things. Put here 50 GB.
No, no. Is this a RAM or a physical storage?
It's a database size.
Hmm.
It's a database
And you
size.
can go up to 625 GB maximum. These are the maximum
Under
values. Yeah, these are
yeah,
the
yeah,
maximum values.
yeah. These are the maximum value under the Gen 5 series.
Correct, correct, correct. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So,
Okay. Mhm.
uh, okay, I'm telling you one more interesting thing. Change the database size 20 GB.
Mm.
So, did you see the changes? 6 GB space allocated. That means whatever size you will give to the database, as per the database size, Microsoft create the database log file in the background. So that's why the database, whatever the database is hosted into the cloud, it will never face the log file issue, log file full issue, or we
Mhm.
need to shrink the database, because Microsoft already see the backups managed by the Microsoft automatically at their end in the platform service on the PaaS. Okay, however, we will configure it. So the size, suppose that put here 100 GB, the put here 100 GB, it is very interesting thing. Yeah, put here 100 GB, the size of the database would be here 30 GB, I mean around 30%. That is, so Suppose that the log backups of the database is running on the hourly basis, but the application is consuming the data space in very fast manner. That means the database will fill in very fast manner, and then it requires the ample amount of the space. In that case, Microsoft automatically change their backup schedule. Instead of the 1 hour, they will start to take the backup on 15 minutes, 10 minutes frequency to manage the logs, right? Otherwise, your application would be choke. Click on apply.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah.
this one I think I'll change it back to 10. For now, it's not required, right?
Huh.
20 should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
I
this
hope
is
all of
common.
guys are aware about the locally redundant, John redundant, and geo redundant. This is the backup storage mechanism, how you maintain your backup. So in live scenario, for the development environment, always we recommend the locally redundant backup. But in case of production, we recommend John redundant, geo redundant or John redundant. Anyone you can go for it, but recommended geo redundant.
Okay.
Click on no need to change anything regarding the networking parameters, because why yeah, back click on the networking parameter. I'm telling you, because here why we not need to change anything. From the DB perspective point of view, we never work on the endpoint part. Whatever the configuration required to make on the DB level, concerned stream will do this work. So we never do any changes at our end.
But you are Azure
Okay.
administrator, so you know how to create a private endpoint as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Okay.
That's why I am telling you, because
Mm,
you covered this part, a private
correct. Yeah,
endpoint
yeah,
and the
that's right.
public.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, and then the TLS version. TLS version means Microsoft Azure automatically pick the latest one. So app, application, and your DB TLS version must be same. In case it vary, your application will not be able to connect it.
Yeah. The handshake will fail.
Yeah, click on security. So yeah, proceed, because we are not covering the Microsoft Defender part here. Yeah,
Backups, data
yeah, yeah,
source, data
yeah,
source.
yeah. Data source additional setting. How you are creating the database? Blank database, or you are creating the database from the backup, or you are creating the database from the sample. Sample means some default databases that SQL Server comes here, the Adventure Web database like that.
Hmm.
Okay, so anyone you can use it, because we don't have backup as of now. So let's going to proceed from the none. Okay, we are going here from the collection level. SQL Latin 1 General CPI CIAS. Okay, find the collection. Whatever collection you want, you can give here, but later on you can't change it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one time activity. Okay, one time.
Yeah, yeah. So review and create.
This one.
Yeah, this is the maintenance window of the database. As per your environment, whatever you have choose, the default or production, it reflect here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see here your costing of the database 16,226 per month. That means the costing vary whatever you have choose under the resources, VCO, DTU, number of the DTU. According to that, your costing coming here.
So in Azure VM, we stop the VM to save the cost. Do we have similar features for the database?
No.
Okay,
Once
whatever you see is the
yeah,
actually correct one. Not the. It cannot vary, right?
right.
Okay.
In case I'm telling you, suppose okay, have you installed the DMS?
Not yet.
Sorry, have you installed the SSMS?
Not yet. Not yet. You said we'll create in a server, right? I did not do
Okay,
it.
because if you have installed now, later on you can install. I can show you the downtime of the database. In
Okay.
case if you change your resources of the database, na, so how the database disconnect the application.
Okay. Got it.
So this is a Azure SQL DB we have created. Now we will build the one VM, okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
put it offline. So tomorrow we will create the migration part.
Okay, we'll create tomorrow only. Yeah.
No, no, no. You can build the VM. We'll
Mm-hmm.
install the SQL Server and then SSMS. So people would be aware how can we install the SQL Server also.
So if we choose SQL Server, it will automatically come, right?
Yeah, that one we can use. If you want to use the marketplace system image, no issue. We can use it.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow only because it will unnecessarily cost us, right? The disk, etc.
Yes,
Yeah,
it will generate the cost.
yeah.
Because yesterday I was doing some different type of the testing and in the lab. So that is I have on VM also. We can use that one.
Oh, is it okay?
Also.
Sure, it's still creating. So how do we create a managed instance?
A managed instance, whenever we will create, as of now, managed instance, I will show you tomorrow
Hmm.
because let me see, because manually I have not created, but managed instance handling process we are doing it.
Okay, okay, got it.
So from the testing point of view, around 6 to 7 months back, I have built a managed instance, but
Hmm.
in live scenario, I did not get the chance because company doesn't allow to build the MI from the operational point of view.
Okay,
So
okay,
they have the separate
team for it.
teams they build it. However, little bit I'm getting the chance to do
Okay, okay.
it. So this is the DB. Okay. Now whatever the we can do it from the DB perspective. Suppose first let me tell the backup management of this DB. How can we do it?
Okay,
Okay.
backup.
Some here the backups will come here. Go above. Click on the search here backup.
Yeah.
Now go back. Click on the server. Click on the SQL database.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I need to go to server, right? Okay.
Uh-huh. Now
Okay,
here go to the
here is the
backup.
server.
Uh,
Okay, here we have the
yeah,
backups.
this is the backup.
Okay, this is enabled.
No, no, this is not enabled. We want to schedule the retention policy of the backup because otherwise, if you will not schedule the retention policy of the backup, MS will start from the backup. MS will start to take the backup, but it will maintain only for the 7 days.
Okay, okay, that's what
So,
default.
okay, you click on the configure policy. Okay, so maximum you can give the 35 days.
Yeah.
But how can you maintain the retention yearly, weekly, or monthly?
Mm-hmm.
That one you can also mention here. How many weeks you want to maintain the retention? How can you maintain the monthly retention or yearly retention? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
the MS will maintain the backup for that type of the period. Now
Okay. Mm-hmm.
here the differential backup option is also there. Okay, I hope all of you are aware about the differential backup because full backup means it will cover all the uh, complete detail of the backup. Differential means only delta changes it will cover. So, as per best practice, always we take differential backup once in a day, and the log backup MMS does not allow to take to schedule because it is managed by their end automatically. So already I have covered that part. As per situation, it's changed their frequency.
Okay. Um, so what time it is gonna back up? Is it only the differential backup it is going to take? Do we have any full backup as such?
Yeah, differential backup will start once a full backup will happen.
When full backup is gonna happen? Is it like only
Okay.
once you are gonna take a full backup, or daily you're gonna take, weekly, or how it is? Do we have such options?
Yeah, the policy would be decided by from there end, weekly full backup, daily differential backup, and then on the certain frequency, um, the log backup. Okay, click on apply. Let's see where the is some option or not to see the policy. Okay. So here, this is the 7 days. No, refresh it.
Yeah, it's still configuring. Deployment is
Okay.
still in progress. So whatever we configure retention, right? That is for which type of backup? Is it for the weekly
Full
differential
backup.
backup?
Full backup. Full backup. Retention implement only for full backup.
Not the differential, but we also triggering differential every day, right?
No,
Uh,
you have, see, I am telling you, differential option you have chosen for every 12 hour or 24 hours. Okay. So 24 hours means once in a day, 12 hours means twice in a day. So
correct.
why we do not mention the retention from the differential backup? Suppose that you have taken full backup on Sunday. Okay, you have taken the full backup on Sunday, and on every day the delta changes is covered under the differential backup. Okay, first listen what I'm saying, then I
Mm,
hope you get the answer. So from Monday to Saturday, everything is covered on the daily basis differential backup. Once your next backup will happen on the Sunday, so that means you have one backup of the previous week and the current backup of the I mean the latest Sunday. So
yes,
Monday
yes.
you will have the another differential backup. So the last 7 days backup from the Sunday to Sunday, whatever you have is useless now, because
Mm,
you have the latest differential backup, latest full backup. So in case customer wants to recovery, in
mhm.
case if the customer wants to recovery, so of the particular day, so you can see that this is the retention policy. You can use it. Okay. So, so your in this type of the situation, the some questions can come. Okay, guys, on that particular Sunday full backup, and after 2 days differential backup, I need to recover that data.
Mhm.
You got my point?
Yeah,
Suppose that on the 1st January we have full backup, 7th January we have full backup, 14th January we have full backup, and the customer wants to restore the data for the 4th January. Then, but obvious we need from the full backup of the 1st January and then 3rd January differential backup, then it will recover it.
correct.
Right. So here we specify the retention policy of the full backup, but so internally MS will manage the backups, including the full backup and differential backup. In the on-premises environment, whatever the tools we are using, either it can be the Lightspeed, Commvault, or in the SQL Server itself, we maintain the retention and then automatically it manages it.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, because yeah, as per the situation, any requirement can come it for the particular day or the point in time restores like that.
Yeah, got it. Okay,
Okay,
anyone have any questions so far before we jump into further? Okay, I'll take it as a no. You go ahead, Kapil. What next?
okay.
It's
So
updated 35 days.
okay. So the other thing, and let me cover today the elastic pool.
Mhm. SQL Elastic Pools. Okay.
Elastic pool means it is very frequent use concept
Mhm.
at the DB level. Uh, the elastic pool means concept is, suppose that you have configured 1 DB with 2 vCore and 50 GB space.
Mhm.
Okay. Now come on the another concept. You have configured the another DB with 5 vCore 50 GB.
Mhm.
And you have configured one more database that is heavily configured with
Mhm.
the 50 vCore and 100 GB.
Mhm.
So 5, 10, 50.
Mhm.
Okay. Now you notice you are paying the amount for 5, 10, 50, 65 before.
Correct.
Okay. But today morning or on the daily morning for 3 hours, your one database need around 70 CPU, 70 vCores to
Okay.
run to run the situation fine.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, throughout the day, your that application don't require that amount of the CPU.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what you will do, either you will purchase a 70
Correct.
CPU,
Correct.
or either during that time you will assign the 70 CPU.
Correct.
After that, you will remove it.
Correct.
Okay. So that means every time you require the downtime.
Yes.
Okay. To increase the vCores, or after that to reduce the vCore.
Correct.
So what we do is we create a one elastic pool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What we do, we create a one elastic pool, and in elastic pool, we will assign the DB size. We will assign the size of the elastic pool 100 70, 70, 80, or whatever the B core.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so suppose that we have created the elastic pool with the 90 V cores or 90 DTU, whatever the situation as per the company to company,
Mm-hmm.
and then put the databases inside the elastic pool.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So your database is up and running fine, no issue. You have put down in the elastic pool. So now here the what is the drawback and what is the benefit? Benefit I have told you. Uh, on certain time, if your one particular database want to use the 70 CPU, and then and separately you have assigned only 5 CPU. Okay, try to understand my point. Separately you have assigned only 5 B core, but when you put down that database into the elastic pool, in the elastic pool you have given the 70 CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your that database can use up to 70 CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your costing of the elastic pool is 70 CPU. That would be used by all the databases that are included into the elastic pool. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? Okay, so this is the benefit, but what is the drawback? If your database is heavily used or high critical application, then so never recommend to put that database into the elastic pool.
Why?
Okay, so how can we create the elastic pool? How can we add the database into the elastic pool? How can we remove the elastic pool?
Now,
So do one thing.
why we shouldn't keep the critical workload critical database into the Elastic Pool? What is the challenge we are going to face?
Yeah, yeah. The challenge means your elastic pool size is 70. Okay,
Correct.
as per the current situation, and your database is continuously is in use, the
Mm-hmm.
critical application database.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for that application, you have given 50 or 60 vCores. Okay, for that, or 20 vCores for that database,
Mm-hmm.
CPU size, these type of the things. But your database is using the resources 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But in the elastic pool, you have put down many other databases.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime these databases can also start their uses.
Okay.
During that time, your critical database will not have a space to manage the performance.
Okay. It is like, let's say, now you decided no, not talking about the critical workload example. I'm talking about the elastic pool use cases, right? I mean the benefit. Okay, just reiterating for myself. So you
Yeah.
have a database with a 10 cores, and sometimes it needs a 30 or 40 cores, and it is only for some time, right? Not regularly like for entire day. So instead of creating a database with the 40 vCores, you create a database with the 10 vCores, and create a elastic pool with the 40 vCores example, or 50 vCores, and add this database to that elastic pool. So when it is needed, database is gonna use 40 vCores, and you still have 10 vCores available in Elastic Pool. In case if any other database want to use it, they can use it. Correct.
Right.
So so in the same time, if any other database needs more, and again it's gonna be impacted, right? Because if that needs more, let's say the expected vCores is gonna be around 70-80 for overall Elastic Pool, right? So that's a problem. So
Right.
here, what you're saying, let's say it's only using for 3 hours. One database needs a 40 vehicles, and that is only for 3 hours. Later, it doesn't require. It just manage with the 10 vehicles that is allocated by the database itself, right? So for the next couple of hours, right, so you're gonna pay for the entire 40 or 50 vehicles for the Elastic Pool.
Yes.
So it's not gonna be useful, right? Again,
No,
you have to
no.
pay for it. Whether you're
Yeah, yeah.
using it or not, you're gonna pay it.
It's a useful command. The thing is, the elastic pool size you have given 50 records, okay,
Correct, correct.
and then you have put down 10 database inside the elastic pool, okay.
Okay.
So you know that your one database will use the 40 records morning
Mm,
in morning. So okay, during that time that database can reach up to the 50 records. Suppose that railway booking database, okay, but you know that your one more database regarding the salary distribution, okay, that will use the resources around in afternoon 12 to 3, and that will reach up to 45 people.
correct.
Okay, so you are aware about the uses of the database. Okay, so that means instead of assigning 40 to the railway booking, 45 to the financial database, 70 to the other database. So throughout the day, you are aware when this application database will reach on peak, what are the duration that will require the maximum number of the vCore. So
Okay.
the bunch of those databases you can create and put into the Elastic Pool. But prior to that, you need to analyze the DB performance, DB usage throughout the week or month, because on one day decision you can't take it. One day data you can't take a result.
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
you need to analyze it. So
So,
let's create
mhm,
the elastic pool
mhm.
so that it will be easy.
Yeah. So you know, you need to know how to use the data, how to use the Elastic Pool first of all.
Yes,
So how to allocate the first you need to know the values of your database, how what is utilization, when it is going to be utilized. Then you have to plan accordingly, right? So
right.
if you have only one database or two databases are going to consume this Elastic Pool for only 6 hours or 8 hours in a day, there's no point of keeping Elastic Pool and paying for the entire day, right?
Yeah,
So
in that case, your costing will increase instead of reduced.
yeah, correct. Only thing is that the management efforts, administration efforts are going to be reduced.
Right.
That's what I can see. But we do have a serverless. If you go to serverless in Vico, right, there you don't need to worry. So auto scale can happen anytime. But I don't know whether it will down or not.
But yeah, your question is 100% genuine about the serverless provisioning. But remember, serverless count per second billing, and then provisioning count the hourly basis billing.
Mhm.
So, in the SQL databases, until unless any very high critical application, company goes to the provision part instead of the serverless,
Okay.
because serverless depends upon the per second billing.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Good. Yeah. So tell me how to create a elastic pool.
Okay. So click on the elastic pool. We went there.
Okay. You want me to go to the server or I
Yeah, it
think
will. Yeah, on the server level, not on DB level. On your
okay. I
server
have
level,
an elastic pool, but I don't see an option to add.
SQL Elastic Pool. Yeah, this is the left side under the setting. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't see an option to add.
Already you have selected it. No, no. First we need to create it. First we need to create it.
Okay, how do I create it?
Okay, click on the SQL Elastic Pool.
Okay, I clicked on it. I don't see an option
You
called add or
notice,
create actually. So earlier it used to be there. Now I don't see an option here.
yeah, no issue, no issue. Go back, click on the SQL database on the home, just above the home. Yeah, go back. Yeah, yeah. Here, search the SQL Elastic Pool. No. Search
Where
on
the
the
top?
left side. Yeah, SQL Elastic Pool.
Hmm.
Yes, here. It is.
Okay, pool name.
E-pool or any name you can give.
Okay, prod. Let's say prod. Oh,
Okay.
mm-hmm. Server name it is automatically taken.
Yes. Server name, however, you know. Okay, you can give. Okay, about the server name, I'm telling you. For
Mm-hmm.
one server, you can create multiple elastic pool.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. For one server, you can create a multiple elastic pool. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's asking us for the server
Mm-hmm.
name.
Okay. Okay. Compute plus storage.
Yes.
Configure elastic pool storage. Pool setting. Service tier. vCore or D2 based. We'll go with the vCore.
Huh.
And compute
Give the
hardware
give
is
the size of the vCore.
yeah. So vCore I think
You
4.
can give your 10 vCore. Yeah, 4 vCore anyway. 4
Yeah.
vCore.
Let's see. Let's go with the 10 for now. Okay.
And then another thing, see here, the size of the elastic pool is also suggesting us.
Yeah. Maximum size also it is giving.
Huh. So in case if your DB size is crossing that, then that can also be the problem.
Log space allocated 18 GB. Okay.
Yeah, log space is around 30% or 33% of it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
databases.
we will go on later. So okay, so click on apply.
Okay. Additional settings. Maintenance window. I think that's common. Let's create this. 80,701 Indian rupees.
Yes. So around 2000 per day billing. Because because costing depend upon the number of the course
Week
whatever you have
course.
selected.
Yeah, correct, correct.
So now we want to add the database.
Yes. Once it is, I think, once it is created, we should add.
This is very critical concept. Most of the people doesn't know how to handle it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Again, search the SQL Elastic. Okay, you can open it.
Yes.
You have opened your Elastic pool.
Yeah,
Oh,
I should go to database, you're saying?
and now I want to add the database.
Okay. Then I'm here in the Elastic pool.
Yes.
Should I go to
So
configure or create database?
no. We will
Mm,
not create. Elastic pool means to use the existing database.
mm.
Not we need to create anything.
Okay, okay, sure.
So click on the configuration. Click on the
Okay.
config.
Mm-hmm.
See here, a database.
Add database. Okay.
Add database.
Select
Yes.
the database. Apply.
One thing. Why it came only DB01?
Only one database we have and only one server we added, right?
No. The thing is, the under the which resource group you have created your elastic pool.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's
That's
based
why.
on the resource group. Okay.
One the first thing. After that, let's come on the further filtering process. During the e-pool creation, you have mentioned that a server name of that database.
Correct, correct.
Okay, so save it. Now, what size of the DB you have the what size of the e-pool you have given? Around
60
20.
GB. 60 GB, I believe.
No, e-pool size.
Yeah, 60 database. 60.
60
You see,
vCore, yeah.
yeah, 60
Yes.
gigabytes.
So, but when you created your DB01, on that time you gave only the 4 vCore or 2 vCore.
Yeah, I think I gave only 10 GB, I believe.
Right. Now you can see the DB01 under the elastic pool.
20 GB.
It will show you it can use up to the 20 vCore and 60 GB.
Okay. Okay. Do you want me to go to the SQL server?
No, no, elastic pool, elastic pool.
Okay, I am in the Elastic Pool and
These settings will not come show you in the SQL Server.
mhm,
See here, DB01
mm,
can use up to that level because the costing is showing us your ePools costing.
okay, okay.
Okay. Now let me show you how the things. Okay, first thing, you know about your ePool settings.
Mm, correct.
Now let's remove it. Okay, then it will show you. Okay, click here. Remove. Wait,
Okay.
wait. Once you remove the DB from your ePool,
Mm-hmm.
most of the people think when we will remove the DB from ePool, it will come back their original situation, the original position. What was the original position? 2 week, 3 week, or and 10 GB space. You got my point.
Mm,
But it will not go in their original position. It will take the replica of the elastic pool.
oh,
It will take the replica of the elastic pool. So you have removed the database from your elastic pool, but still ePool will charge 80,000 and DB01 will also charge 80,000.
oh.
Okay. So prior to remove, you need to change the configuration. Click on the pricing tab.
Click on the.
Now, pricing tire, just next to the DB01. You select the DB01
Okay. Mm,
and then click on the pricing tag. Just move right side your cursor. Move your here. You can see here. You need to change the settings.
it is actually taken based on my database here.
No.
Mm,
Change here. Otherwise in the live environment, na Kamal. Suppose that your ePool setting is your 10 vCore and 50 GB. Then automatically during the removal, it will take the replica of the ePool.
okay. Now what setting I have to modify? It is
Now, what setting you have to modify means whatever your the previous situation of the DB.
it is same
You,
situation it is showing actually here.
yes,
Now.
you can apply it. You can apply it.
Yeah, without any changes, it's not actually giving me an
You can
option to apply. So I need to
you,
make some changes here.
you can make the size 19 GB.
Yeah,
Anything.
yeah.
Yes, apply it.
Okay.
This is the problem comes
Mm,
and then people miss that part.
mm,
The live issue.
okay, got it. It's really important to know.
Yeah, because these are the running issue. Most of the people do such type of the things, and then whenever the company bill comes, then they ask who did such type of the things.
Yeah,
So these are the basic stuff of the Azure SQL DB. However, you can configure the failover group, always on, replication, lots of the things.
correct, correct. Yes. It has many other options, replicas.
Many other options depends upon the these are the general topics.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Then, if you have some idea, right, at high level, we can just walk through this. Then we can go for the DMS service. Okay.
Yeah. So tomorrow I will start. I will cover the DME and DMS part.
Okay, great. That helps a lot.
So
And your
DME and
explanation is
DMS.
really good. I understand very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
thank you. So I hope everybody understand this. Yeah, I'll upload this recording very soon. Please go through them. It's really important and interesting topic. Okay. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time. Kapil, anything you want to suggest or add?
Nothing for today. Tomorrow we can cover another things.
Okay, great. Anyone have any questions, guys? Gopi, Bhupati, Sayad?
Oh,
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, good, bro. Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.